I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Thursday, March 12th. Today, death after donation. What health officials are saying about the passing of 2 people following plasma donations in Winnipeg. Also today, a helping hand.
It represents a shift from apprehension to prevention and to support.
How a new mothering center is planning to support community members. Plus, more money for the Marlborough. Why additional funding is being requested for the Marlborough Hotel redevelopment project. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It's a procedure considered low risk by health officials, but 2 people are now dead after donating plasma in Winnipeg. Standing by live with the details for us is CTV's John Hendricks. John, when did these deaths occur?
Marilee, Health Canada confirmed in a statement that the deaths took place on October 25th of last year and January 30th of this year. Now, that's 2 deaths over the span of just 3 months. They happened at 2 different Grifols locations in the city, one on Taylor Avenue, the other on Innovation Drive at U of M. Grifols was formerly known as Canadian Plasma Resources, and it pays up to $100 per plasma donation. It allows qualified donors to donate plasma twice every 7 days. But on Monday, it updated its donation frequency rules, stating that donors now need at least 48 hours between those donations. So if you were to donate plasma today at 5, the earliest your next appointment could be is Saturday at 5. Health Canada requires any adverse reactions within 72 hours of a donation to be reported, which it says Grifols did in both of these cases. It also says while the assessment of the reports is ongoing, no link has been made at this point between the plasma donation process and the 2 deaths.
So, John, what about Grifols? What does it have to say about these deaths?
Well, Marilee, it says the safety of its donors is its ultimate priority, and that every donor undergoes a health history evaluation and physical examination before they're deemed eligible, and that in each of these cases, it followed the protocol upon learning of the donor's passing. It also commenced an internal investigation related to each case. CTV's Jeff Keel has much more details about the situation coming up at 6.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, John. A Winnipeg man is charged and 4 migrants have been arrested in connection to what police say was an illegal border crossing in December. RCMP reported seeing a migrant crossing about 10 kilometers west of Emerson on December 5th. Officers then spotted a vehicle while conducting patrols, but say the driver sped away. Officers caught up to that vehicle, which led to the driver's arrest. Mounties say 4 migrants were found near the vehicle's location and were arrested before being sent to the Canadian Border Services Agency in Emerson. A 31-year-old man from Winnipeg is charged under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. A policing expert has told the inquest into the death of Aisha Hudson the police officer involved in the shooting took appropriate action. Use of force expert Chris Butler testified the officer was right to use lethal force. He says officers didn't have a lot of time to respond when the Jeep being driven by Hudson collided with a truck in 2020. He also said police would have wanted to stop the vehicle from moving, and other lives could have been in danger if they waited. The police officer who shot Hudson has testified he believed it was moving towards other officers. The inquest is looking at whether systemic racism played a role in Hudson's death and if the use of force was appropriate. The Manitoba government has introduced a bill which would ban suppliers from keeping repair parts private. Manufacturers and sellers of consumer products would have to ensure any parts, tools, software, and manuals needed for repairs are publicly available. Details about which goods will be covered and how long parts need to remain available are expected to come a bit later. The opposition Progressive Conservatives say the bill should also include items such as farm machinery. A new center is in the works to help support Indigenous mothers and their babies through the first months of life.
The goal is simple but powerful: to support mothers so that they can keep their babies.
The province is providing $2.5 million to Blue Thunderbird Family Care to purchase and renovate a property which will be a new mothering center. The 6-bedroom home will provide space for mothers and children before birth and after, along with a shared kitchen and dining space and community-led support programming. Mothers and babies will be able to live at the center for 3 to 6 months.
It represents a shift from apprehension to prevention and to support. Its systems change, but at the most human level. Because when a mother reconnects to community, that strength carries forward to all of us.
The Mothering Center is expected to start welcoming families this summer. More money could be earmarked for the redevelopment of the Marlborough Hotel if a proposal at City Hall is approved. Centre Venture Development Corporation is requesting an additional $5 million from the Housing Accelerator Fund. The project includes converting the 110-year-old heritage building into 307 housing units. The development will also include bars, restaurants, and a Skyview banquet hall. 40 affordable units are also being included. The Executive Policy Committee will vote on the matter Tuesday. A rescued lynx in Manitoba is starting a new chapter, and our premier is sharing the moment. In an Instagram post, Premier Wap Kinew says he recently visited Lumi, a young lynx now settling into her new home at Assiniboine Park Zoo. Lumi was rescued back in August and taken to Wildlife Haven after a dog attack killed her mother and left the cub with injuries, including a severe eye injury. Kinew thanks staff at Wildlife Haven and the zoo for helping care for Lumi during her recovery and move. He also shared in Anishinaabe teachings, the lynx is his clan animal. A reminder, he says, animals on this land are part of our family. Oh, well, we wish Lumi a lot of luck in her new home. Hopefully she's settling in nicely tonight.
And it's been fun to watch her grow.
Yeah.
She's become such a big girl. Good to see. Nice and healthy.
We'll get to keep watching her throughout her life, which is really cool. What are you tracking for us tonight weather-wise?
All that snow behind me on the satellite radar. Yeah, it's here. That Alberta Clipper, it's been zipping along pretty quickly, bringing that snow further and further off to the east. Now, the radar is showing the snow popping up here in Winnipeg. So parts of the city, particularly the southern half of the city, you might be seeing the snow already. Out at the airport, Environment Canada's weather station, they're still reporting cloudy conditions. Well, at any rate, the snow is on our doorstep. Also on Winnipeg's doorstep, but not included in it, is a blowing snow advisory. The rest of the Red River Valley is under that advisory, as well as areas into the southeast corner of the province. And then the other direction out through south central Manitoba, some very strong winds are going to whip up or in the process of doing so as that snow is falling. I'll have more details on what those conditions are going to be like tonight and how long they're going to be lasting. Let's take a look right now through the CTV Live Eye. It's brought to you by Bathfit, our exclusive home of the PermaFit solution, or try to look through the Live Eye. You can see there's certainly precipitation on the lens there. The snow is falling in parts of the city now. It's -2 degrees, winds out of the east-southeast at 24 kilometers an hour with a wind chill that feels like -8. The pressure's falling and the humidity is 76%. Out in traffic, changing conditions now, so just be careful about that. And out in open areas too, reduced visibility is possible. One stall to let you know about, Fermor at St. Anne's Road. That stall is in the eastbound median lane.
Hitting all the right notes, how a new show is taking Winnipeggers on a journey through musical genres.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
We imported far more than we exported in January, and a big part of the drop comes from vehicles. Exports of vehicle and vehicle parts fell 21% in January to $5.4 billion. That's the lowest it's been since September of 2021. Metal exports also dropped. Unwrought gold, silver, and platinum exports down over 12%. Higher exports of energy products helped to offset the losses. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.38. West Texas Intermediate is up another $9 to 96.32. Western Canadian Select gaining $3 today to 72.01, and the TSX lost another 279 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
New banking rules kick in today that could save Canadians hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Non-sufficient funds fees, also known as NSFs, are charged when there isn't enough money in an account to cover a payment. That fee is now being capped at $10 for personal deposit accounts. Banks also can't charge more than one NSF fee within 2 business days on the same account. And the fee can't be applied if the shortfall is under $10. The federal government says the changes are expected to save Canadians more than $600 million every year. Spring is on the way, and the Leisure Guide is now out to help you plan your activities. The City of Winnipeg's Spring Summer Leisure Guide, along with skating and swimming brochures, are now available online. Registration for all activities except summer swimming start on Tuesday, March 24th at 8 a.m. for Winnipeg residents, and then 2 days later for those out of town. You can register online by calling 311 or in person at certain locations. The summer swimming brochure will be released on June 4th, with registration to follow on the 16th. An upcoming show from a vocal ensemble is gearing up to take you on a musical journey with a special show.
We are a community-based choir, and we're all volunteers. Even our board of directors are all volunteers.
Called Tatsu Luktu, the show will cover tunes from various genres, including Hollywood hits, Motown soul, and Broadway. The performance is being put on by Musica Singers of Manitoba. The 30-person choir showcases and celebrates the voices of Filipino singers in our province.
Well, to share and promote the Philippine arts and culture, that's one of our mission. And through music and through dance, we would like to preserve it, because we believe that preserving not just the Filipino culture, but any culture, strengthen Canada as a whole.
The show kicks off Saturday, March 21st at Nashville's Winnipeg on Regent.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
Manitoba's Carrie Anerson will represent Canada when the Women's World Curling Championships kick off Saturday in Calgary. Anerson and her Manitoba-based team earned the spot after winning the Scotties Tournament of Hearts last month in Mississauga. The skip is chasing her first world title after winning bronze at the championship twice before. Team Canada opens play Saturday afternoon against Sweden, followed by an evening matchup with the United States. 13 countries are competing in Calgary for the World Championship. Bad blood. Why some Taylor Swift fans who saw the Eras Tour in Canada might be eligible for a refund. We'll explain after the break.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Spotlight sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting High Valley.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and the Canadian Museum for Human Rights is looking for an artist to help set the scene of a new permanent exhibit.
That's right. The exhibit is called At the Knees of Our Ancestors and explores the history of enslavement and early Black life in Canada. The museum is looking for illustrators of African descent with ancestry here in Canada. The successful applicant will be tasked with creating about 20 original portraits or scene-based artworks for the exhibit. They may be asked to depict historical events or settings where no pictures exist. You can head to humanrights.ca for more information on how to apply. At the Knees of Our Ancestors is expected to open in the fall.
All right, it was one of the most popular concerts ever, and if you were one of the lucky ones who got to take in Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in Vancouver, you may be eligible for a refund.
Apparently so. Consumer Protection BC says it reached an agreement with StubHub after investigation allegations the business violated the province's Ticket Sales Act.
Here we are in
StubHub has denied the allegations, but agreed to refund tickets, which did not clearly indicate they were for seats where views would be partially or fully obstructed. The company is supposed to contact eligible purchasers by May 1st.
An Oscar-winning actress may be headed to Middle-earth.
So it seems. Kate Winslet is reportedly in talks to join The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum.
It's really, really wonderful to be here.
The film is expected in theaters in December 2027. It takes place between The Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring and follows Aragorn's quest to find Gollum and prevent the ring from falling into enemy hands. Andy Serkis returns as Gollum and is also directing the film. Sir Ian McKellen will reprise his role as the wizard Gandalf, and Elijah Wood is back as Frodo Baggins.
Preparations are officially underway in Hollywood ahead of the 98th Academy Awards this weekend.
That's right. Host Conan O'Brien helped the production crew roll out the red carpet yesterday. This will be the second year the former late-night host is serving as MC for the award show. The Oscars will be handed out at 6 p.m. Central on Sunday. You can catch the broadcast on CTV, of course, or stream it on Crave.
All right, now to an upcoming movie that will take us back to Montreal 2011.
Mile and Kicks takes a page out of a book from Almost Famous.
We were wondering, what are you writing? Oh, I'm a music critic. Oh, cool.
It stars Barbie Ferreira as a young music journalist, Grace, who moves to Montreal to cover the city's indie scene and write a book. She ends up getting romantically involved with two members of the same band while serving as their publicist. Mile and Kicks is in theaters on April 17th.
Looks interesting.
And messy.
Yeah, yes, that too.
Which makes it interesting.
That does. Yeah, it keeps you glued to the TV. Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup kicks off with a culinary competition. Next Level Chef starts at 7. 911 is at 8. And catch Grey's Anatomy at 9. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage wraps it all up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
CTV Primetime Lineup brought to you by the Parkway Retirement Community. Welcome home.
Well, I can see by looking through our studio windows, the snow has reached downtown. We're looking live at Notre Dame. With that snow falling down now, starting to really come down across the city. Watch for changing conditions. -2 right now. I'll show you where that snow is headed and how much we could get coming up.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, just to show you, this is a pretty big system, this Alberta Clipper, and as Clippers do, they zip along. This has been racing over the last few hours, watching it on radar. Two forms of precipitation, the rain falling well south of the international border, but here in Manitoba, snow is now stretching pretty much from border to border, and it's made its way into Winnipeg. Winnipeg is not under the blowing snow advisory, but the rest of the Red River Valley is. West out into south central areas and east into the southeast corner. We could see some pretty strong north winds and northeast winds develop that will kick up some pretty strong wind gusts that could create blowing snow, which could make travel hazardous, particularly once we get a little later into tonight and in the overnight hours. Now, this is expected to start improving. What I mean is that the winds are supposed to begin to diminish overnight, so it'll still be windy for the commute tomorrow, but the likelihood of difficulty driving in near zero visibility should have diminished greatly by tomorrow morning, but we'll see how this tracks. Northwestern Ontario, some of this snow is going to make its way into your region as well yet tonight. In the north, you can see some clearing up around Lynn Lake, up into the northeast corner. Back down here in the south, temperatures just below freezing, -2 in southeastern Manitoba. All of us, really, including Winnipeg, -2 in Kenora. Little colder out in the southwest. Brandon and Dauphin both reporting -6 degrees in the north right now, where it is a little clearer, on the border of where that cloud deck is, right around Lynn Lake, -17 there, and in Churchill it's -21. So the northeast part of the province and eastern sections will also see some snow, courtesy of a separate disturbance, but this is what we're keeping our eyes peeled on here in the south. And you can see too, there is the possibility of some freezing rain popping up there, what with the temperatures being as close as they are to the freezing mark. But as zippers, as I said already, tend to do, this one's going to move on pretty quickly. So The actual falling snow should only last for a few hours into late tonight here in the southeast. You can see it will have already started to end out in the southwest. Those strong winds, though, will continue to blow around that falling snow into the overnight hours. And as I mentioned, as we get into tomorrow morning commute time, winds will still be pretty strong and gusty, but it looks like not quite enough to create concern for travel. I mean, certainly be vigilant when you're driving out there nonetheless, but we've got that snow that's actually falling, continuing to push further off into northwestern Ontario. Late Friday morning into Friday afternoon. Sunshine Friday afternoon across the north, mix of sun and cloud across southern Manitoba, and then in we go into the weekend where it will be a little chilly, particularly the overnight lows, but we'll see some sunshine too along the way in areas. For tonight, down to minus 14 degrees with snow and blowing snow. Winds at their strongest out of the north at 40 with wind gusts up to 60 kilometers an hour. So more so in those open areas of the city is where you want to watch out for reduced visibility and blowing snow. Minus 8 the high tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud. Friday, still some strong north winds on the backside of that clipper as it moves on out of the region. 30 kilometers an hour, the sustained speed, wind gusts up to 50 possible. So still a decently windy day, and those north winds will, that'll bite. That will feel a little chilly. Minus 9 on Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, down to minus 22 degrees Saturday night, minus 11 Sunday in the sun, minus 26 degrees on Sunday night. Sunshine Monday, leaping leprechaun will be leaping in some flurries, which seem to have dropped right down onto his head, poor guy. Minus 8 degrees warmer by Wednesday. Our first weather photo takes us out to Beausejour, a lovely look there. That photo is from Stacy. And this next one is out in Langruth. You can see that sundog. That photo is from Norma. Send us yours to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. Every generation needs a voice.
Being a boomer ain't bad. Can't remember enough to be sad.
And for baby boomers, that voice is Northern Ontario musician Stan French. And his anthem is called Being a Boomer Ain't Bad. It's a whimsical take on life for people of his generation. Stan's song is up for an award in international songwriting competition. And get this, if he takes the grand prize, he gets $25,000. And Stan says he'll donate that to charity. I'm going to have to listen to this in full.
Go get him, Stan.
Yeah. I'm downloading it right away.
We got our votes.
All right. That does it for us this hour. Don't go farther. We're back at 6 with much more local news. Hope to see you then.